Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is DRL. Like we did in NBA 2K Mobile Season 2 and Season 3, I am continuing the stat breakdown series. This time around, we are doing a breakdown of the top clutch themed players. So it's real important to know the players that collect, the players that are worth grinding for in the events, and the players that you can use inside of head-to-head to have a really good lineup. All right, so now let's get into the video. All right, so we're going to start with the gold rarity with Bill Laimbeer. One thing I do want to mention is that the older players, most part, don't have a jump shot. That lowers their overall stat average by a lot. You'll see that come into play with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and Shaquille O'Neal. Now, Bill Laimbeer is a little bit different. He is one of the few older players that actually has a good mid-range shot and a three-point shot. Bear that in mind. He has a 3.5 overall stat average. Base power starts off at 710. You do max out Bill Laimbeer, his power is around 1008. And now we got John Stockton. His overall stat average is at 3.7. One of the best playmakers in the game, obviously. Power starts at 737, goes up to 1046. Does have a 5 in mid-range and a 5 and 3-point shot. Very important stats for a point guard. And the playmaking's a 5, which is what you want to see. All right, now we got Robert Horry, who I personally think is one of the gems in this theme. Also for the gold rarities. Got a 4.0 stat average. Reason why his stats are so good, he's got a 5 and 3-point shot, and everything else is pretty balanced. You can see he has 4s across the board. Makes him a really good piece for your team, especially when you're starting to grind. Should help you grind those early seasons. His power starts at 667 when maxed out is 947. So again, that will really help you out because it's higher than all the other gold foundation cards and pretty close to the emeralds. Now we got the Truth Paul Pierce. Got a 3.9 stat average. His best stats is the shoot-off dribble, the mid-range shooting, and the 3-point shot. Very important for a small forward. Everything else is well balanced. I think his rebounding is low as a 3. So that's one stat that keeps him from stacking up to the elite small forwards like Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James. But aside from that, the Truth is a good player to have on your team. His base power is 1014, and his max power can be around 1691. And we got the logo Jerry West. The logo Jerry West, who I think is the hidden gem for this theme. Got a 4.2 overall stat average. Really good, especially in head-to-head. You can see he has a playmaking stat of 5. Defending is a 5, which is elite for a point guard. Mid-range shot is a 5. 3-point shot is a 5, and shoot-off dribbles. He can definitely get buckets, and he can definitely set up the rest of your squad. Base power is 1022, and maxed out he can go up to around 1705. We got Bam Adebayo, another gem. 4.2 overall stat average. Now what makes Bam stand out is the 5 in defending. He's got a 5 in rebounding and a 5 in strength, which is real good. Playmaking's a 4, so he's fairly quick. Layups and dunks a 4, and the mid-range is a 4. He doesn't have a 3-point shot, but his mid-range and post-game is pretty good for him to be on your squad and help you out with those putbacks, offensive rebounds, all that great stuff. So his base power is 996. He could go up to around 1661. And we got Ray Allen, 3.8 overall stat average. Ray Allen's basically buckets. Got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, mid-range shot, 3-point shot. Aside from that, although the stats are fairly low, his defending and playmaking are okay as well. He has a 4 no stats, but his layups and dunks is a 3. Base power is 1350, and when maxed out, he can go up to 2252. Next, we got Kevin Garnett, one of my favorite power forwards in this game. Overall stat average is a 4.3. He's one of the top power forwards. What makes him stand out is that 5 in mid-range shot, the 5 in defending, rebounding, and strength. Post-scoring, right? We have not seen a 5 in post-scoring among the other players. He's just a really good player for head-to-head. One of my favorites, especially if you put on some shoes with playmaking. He's going to be flying up and down the court, blocking, and then finishing up with the fast break dunk. His base power is 1390. When maxed out, he can go up to 2318. Next, you got Kevin Durant, cover athlete of NBA 2K Mobile Season 3. One of the smoothest gameplays in the game. His overall stat average is a 4.3. KD is buckets. He's a green light machine. 5 shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range shot, 3-point shot, 5 in playmaking. Just so good to use in this game. He's got a 4 in layups and dunks as well. Again, he's a beast. Definitely somebody you want to have on your squad when you're grinding those seasons. And definitely fun to use in head-to-head. His base power is 1,430. He can go up to 2,385. Here goes the cover athlete of NBA 2K Mobile Season 4. My favorite player in the NBA right now, Damian Lillard. Overall stat average is a 3.8. But again, he's one of those players where his gameplay is so much better than his stats indicate. But some of his stats make sense, and it's going to bring down his overall stat average always, right? Like his rebounding is a 2. That makes a lot of sense. His post scoring is a 1. I think that can go up, right? He does have a nice fadeaway. His defending is a 3, which is kind of accurate as well. But if you ignore all that, 5 in agility, 5 in playmaking, mid-range shot, 3-point shot, and shoot-off dribble. Now, I do think that shoot-off dribble, mid-range, and 3-point shot can go up to a 6 because he is one of those players that can create buckets on his own, and his range is incredible in this game. His layups and dunks is a 4, which is not bad either. So Dame's base power is at 2,040, and when maxed out, he can go up to around 3,931. Here goes Jerry Stackhouse, has pretty good stats. He has a 4.2 overall stat average. You take a look at it, a lot of good 5s. Shoot-off dribble, the layups and dunks, mid-range shooting, the agility, all pretty solid. 3-point shot is a 4, but he does have 4 in post scoring for a shooting guard. That's really good. Got a 4 in playmaking and defending as well. So you can upgrade those with the right shoes, and Stackhouse could be a really good solid player in head-to-head. His base power is 1,944. When maxed out, he could go up to around 3,746. All right, now we got Nikola Jokic, reigning MVP of the league. Stat average is at 4.3. You take a look at his stats. Got a 5 in playmaking, which is so good for a center. 5 in rebounding, 5 in strength, post scoring, mid-range shot. Those are all really good for a center. He's got a 4 in layups and dunks, but you could bring that up easily. And his defending is a 3. So that's something you do want to bring up. Should be a focus when using him in head-to-head, because he's going to get outplayed by some of the dominant centers like Shaq, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain. So that's something to bear in mind. Now his base power is 2,059. When maxed out, he can go up to 3,967, which is incredible. And we got Dirk Nowitzki, one of the best power forwards in the game as well. Look at stats. 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range, 3-point shot, another 5 in post scoring, 5 in rebounding. Dirk is one of the most popular players to use inside the game for the power forward position. He can get you a lot of buckets. He has a pretty decent range. Again, his 3-point shot is a 5, which is solid for a power forward. And his defending is decent, right? He can get you some blocks in the clutch that will really help you out. And his rebound is a 5, which is super important as well. Now his base power is 2,079. When maxed out, he can go up to around 4,006 power, which is incredible. And we got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie is another player just like Damian Lillard, whose stats don't really indicate how good they are in this game. But again, some stats do make a lot of sense. So that's why his stat average will be low. Gameplay wise, he's a beast and one of those players you want to use in head-to-head. Got that 5 in shoot-off dribble, mid-range shot, 3-point shot, agility, playmaking. All very good stats. I would even argue that he can get a 6 in shoot-off dribble, one of the best ball handlers in the NBA. He can get a 6 in mid-range shot as well. We can even argue that his post scoring can go up to a 4 because, he can create so much space when he's anywhere on the court and get to the rim with ease. He's one of the best slashers in the game. Now, the reason why his stats are lower is because he's got that 1 in strength, which we can argue that as well because he does take a lot of contact when he drives to the lane, gets those N1 layups. We could maybe argue the strength could go up to like a 2 or 3. But aside from that, Kyrie Irving is still a player you want to target. He is the set reward. If you could finish the set, it definitely will be worth it. And he's also the reward for fantasy finals. So if your power is 2,350 or higher, you can get a chance to get Kyrie Irving as your final reward. As base power is 3,122, when maxed out, he can go up to 6,015. And I want to mention that he has the prime player ability. So the prime player ability will allow him to get an extra 25% boost on his power when he's the highest on your team. All right, next up, we got one of the GOATs of all time. Again, rest in peace, man. One of my top favorite players ever, Kobe Bryant, who also has the prime playability. So if he is the highest on your team, you're in good shape. Kobe has a 4.4 stat average, one of the elite shooting guards in NBA 2K Mobile. He's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, layups and dunks, mid-range shot, 3-point shot, agility, and defending. Brings him down is the strength and the rebounding, but he's got a 4 and 4 scoring, which I still feel he should get higher. His fadeaway was so lethal. He could get a 5 in post scoring, and his playmaking was solid when he did pass the ball, right? But aside from that, Kobe is the final reward for the king of the court, so definitely continue grinding if you have a chance at getting him. His base power is 3,200, and he could go up to 6,166. Last but not least, we got Larry Legend. A lot will argue that he is the best small forward in the game, gameplay-wise. I agree that he is up there. He's definitely one of the top-tier small forwards in his game, stats and gameplay. He's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, mid-range, 3-point shot, post scoring as well. Rebounding, playmaking, and defending. Man, this guy is elite. Now, he has a 3 in layups and dunks. He's a shooter. It is what it is, right? We can't deny that. And he could go up to around 6,247. That is the stats breakdown. I hope that you guys appreciate this content. Do enjoy making it. Trust me, it does take some time to compile these stats. That's why it took a little bit longer to drop this. But if you do want another stats breakdown, let me know in the comments what you want to see next. But if there's one rarity that you want to see sooner, let me know. We can drop that as well. All right, so I appreciate all the support everyone's been showing on the channel. Be sure to check out my second channel as well, DRL Marvel. We cover all games in the Marvel universe on that channel. It's definitely something interesting to check out. All right, so as always, appreciate it. Catch everyone in the next one. Peace out.